Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, the true Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners who may look like to other nations but believe this truth. This is Brother Shakal here with the video lesson proving that Isaiah 34 is going to happen in the future, the near future. Not in the past, and it didn't happen yet. It's going to happen in the future, in the near future. And there are many different link-up chapters and in scriptures, verses that go with this. You can go to Revelation 18 and Joel 3, Revelation 16, and the list goes on and on. The more you get deeper into it, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashmi Oshai, Bashmi Kokodash. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. Come hear, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Oshai, is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. And what is this slaughter? Is Armageddon, or World War III, the third woe. The Valley of Jehoshaphat all goes together, the Middle East. So this is gonna happen. This is a future thing. This slaughter. Revelation chapter 16, in verse I'll start at 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. The garments is the knowledge. And you're supposed to be watching the news, link it up with the scriptures. Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And here's the point, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Which all these different nations are going to be gathered in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, to fight the Battle of Armageddon, which goes right with World War III. Which goes with the slaughter we're reading about in Isaiah 34. Armageddon means like a mountain of troops. Armageddon, Harmageddon, Har, mountain, God troop, one plural, Harmageddon. So these scriptures are relevant to today, like Isaiah 34. I'm going to get some more in that. Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh Shaphat, the Most High's judgment, is what that means. Which the valley of Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East, where the slaughter is going to take place, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So Israel, being the Most High people, is relevant to these last times, even in this last war, Armageddon, which matches with Isaiah 34. Joel chapter 2, verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, which is talking about the American military, Northern Army, North America, the American military, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, which is Saudi Arabia, barren and desolate desert, Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, with his face toward the EC, and I'm going to pull up a map. The EC is the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea, and his stink, the dead bodies, shall come up, and his ill Savior shall come up, because he hath done great things. So let's pull up a map for that. Let's look at Middle East map. Let's go back to the slaughter in Isaiah 34. All these scriptures, World War III, Valley of Jehoshaphat. This one's pretty good. So you see the land barren and desolate, Saudi Arabia. The Red Sea is the utmost sea. Now in the middle of Iraq, you would have the Euphrates River, which is the EC. I'll have to pull up another map. You see it in the middle of Iraq, you have the Euphrates River. That's the EC, and again the Red Sea is the utmost sea. Then the land barren and desolate, you already know. Which I'll get a picture of it. The land barren and desolate. So there's a whole lot of war that's going to be going on in the near future. Expect war drafts. I think that was the point on that section. Actually, I have a couple more scriptures. Revelation chapter 11. So look, Revelation chapter 11. In verse 14, the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. What's the third woe? World War III, Armageddon, which we've been reading about. Armageddon, Yahweh, the slaughter, a northern army being brought to the land barren and desolate. That verse goes with Armageddon. It goes with World War III. Which we hear talks of World War III. Which will be at the same time as the mark of the beast, or RFID microchip. Revelation 13 and 16, and you can also read verse 17. Talking about that microchip, the mark of the beast. Mandatory for buying or selling. At the same time as World War III. All this Armageddon, Valley of Jehoshaphat. All these scriptures, that slaughter, Isaiah 34. Now let's go to Revelation 9. In verse 12. One woe was past, World War I. And behold, there come two more woes hereafter. So there will be two more world wars. So, one woe, World War I, which we read about real quick, Revelation chapter 9, in verse 2. And he opened up the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, and the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit. I started verse 1 actually. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe. You read about that in Revelation, the 20th chapter. 2 Ezra 5 and verse 24 proves that a land is synonymous with a pit. The bottomless pit is Europe. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun as the air, and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Here's the point. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. Now these locusts is from World War One, really talking about dogfighters, which were planes, warplanes, with you had the guns, people shooting guns from the planes in the World War One. That's what the locust is talking about, which is the first woe. And unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. So that's the first woe, World War One. There would have to be two more woes leading up to World War III, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Armageddon, which we read about in Joel 3 in the Old Testament and Joel 2 in the Old Testament, Revelation 11, Revelation 16 in the New Testament. So, Revelation 9 and so Isaiah 34, it's in Isaiah 34 too. You can't say it's not. That's verse 2. I'll read it again. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Bashmil is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. In the slaughter Armageddon. Armageddon. So all these nations are going to go into the Middle East and fight World War III. Let me get the picture of that World War One first woe locust or the dog fighter. It gives you perspective on the timing. So there would have to be a World War III. So these are the locusts. You can watch the GMS breakdown on Revelation 9 if you're interested to get more edification. Already we covered now that Isaiah 34 is in the future, and then it goes to World War III. This is not the past, it's in the future. Now I'm going to go to verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. The heavens being rolled together as a scroll is a nuclear mushroom cloud. This is the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. When a nuclear missile hits. This is the future of America, Babylon the Great, this whore. These other nations are going to shoot missiles on this place in the midst of World War III. So the only way this could happen is nuclear war. During the midst of the third World War III. So it makes sense. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And to further proof that this is talking about the future, it says the same thing in Revelation, the 6th chapter. Revelation chapter 6, in verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And that's the nuclear mushroom cloud. The heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. So it says the same thing from World War III. It says the same thing in Isaiah 34. So that proves that Isaiah 34 wasn't talking about something in the ancient time. It's talking about the future. Because Revelations was possibly 1,000 more years in the future than Isaiah than at time of Isaiah. At the time of John the Revelator. So you can't tell me Isaiah 34 is not going to happen in the future. And so this heaven departed as a scroll again is that nuclear mushroom cloud in the midst of the third woe, Armageddon. So they'll fight in the Middle East, but then the climax, the missile will be shot on Babylon the Great, 200 million warheads, and this place will be completely destroyed. Yahweh, the Son of the Most High, will come with the angels and the so-called UFOs, the chariots, and beam up the elect from Babylon the Great, from that fiery destruction. Beam them up to the safe place, the chambers, as well as Israelites of the elect all over the earth. Let me go to Revelation 16, back here, in verse 21, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, which is not a literal hail. It's talking about the warheads, which will bring nuclear destruction. And men blasphemed Yahweh Bashmi because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Then we read verse 20, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. So what type of hail can make verse 20 happen? Except it's talking about a nuclear destruction. They also make the heavens depart as a scroll. So now all the scriptures, you can't just take them literally and say they're all in the past. These are very, very relevant to the near future. We're in the end times, the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's rulership. That's one of the main points of this lesson. I'm why focusing on Isaiah 34. Because it talks about the destruction of the Edomites. And proves that they're still here in these end times. And Esau, Edom is the so-called white man. You have Israelites that look like Edomites, just to clarify that, through the seed of the father. But that's not the point of this. And you have Edomites that look so-called black, through the seed line of their father, through slavery and the white man laying with the Israelite woman, because it's the seed of the father. Read the parable of the wheat and the tares. But where is it gonna go? Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. This is gonna happen. The missiles hit, and the earth is gonna shake. There are gonna be earthquakes and tsunamis from that nuclear destruction. So this is the big event, pretty much. And shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So when Esau falls, he's never going to rise up in power again. He's going to stay in slavery and become Obadiah 1:18 extinct after his slavery. Now we go back to Revelation 6. In verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So again, it's not talking about literal things like stars and figs, it's talking about the nuclear missiles looking like figs or like lights falling onto the earth. Talking about those missiles. In that mighty wind, it said when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Talking about that nuclear destruction. in the midst of World War III. And so we read the stars of heaven, the figs. Then the heavens departed as a scroll, that nuclear mushroom cloud. Which we read the heavens departed as a scroll in Isaiah 34, that nuclear mushroom cloud again. The same event, same thing. The destruction of America, Babylon the Great, by nuclear fire. And so what would cause that in Isaiah 34, the heavens departing as a scroll, is the stars falling from the heaven, the missiles. Where do we see the stars also? Matthew chapter 24. And I'll start at verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, Jacob's trouble. Daniel's 12:1, Jeremiah 30:7. The mark of the beast, the RFID microchip will all be on the scene. All hell will break loose. Martial law. Shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light? Here's the point, and the stars shall fall from heaven, those missiles. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then, so when the stars hit America, Babylon the Great, these Edomites, Idumea, is going to cause the heavens to depart as a scroll. It's going to cause, we read, what do we read? The islands and the mountains, those hail that we read about, which are not, we covered what that is. You have to go back and listen. And so, it's going to bring that nuclear mushroom cloud, the heavens depart as a scroll. And then we read verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man, which is Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, coming in the clouds, the chariots, the so-called UFOs, not literal clouds, of heaven with power and great glory. So Yahushua, the second coming of the Messiah, Yahushua, is going to be when those missiles hit, those stars, and the heavens would depart as a scroll. Because we read in Isaiah 34, the heavens depart as a scroll. We read in Revelation 6, the stars of heaven fell into the earth, and the heavens departed as a scroll. Which is from those nuclear mushroom cloud. And when these stars hit, that's when Yahushua, the Son of Man, is coming with the clouds of heaven, in those chariots with the holy angels, and going to deliver the elect from that destruction. Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So beam up the elect Israelites. And we take it back to Isaiah 34. Now look at the picture again. Isaiah 34 and verse 4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword, the sword is the missiles, which can go from continent to continent, ICBMs, shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is synonymous with Edom. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So they are people that will be destroyed in this event when they rule America, Babylon the Great, which will be destroyed with these Edomites in this nuclear destruction of America. So when Yahushua comes back, those stars, the heavens depart as a scroll, the elect beamed up in the cloud, the chariot, so-called UFOs, which Yahushua and the angels are coming back in the whole mass of the chariots. That's when the destruction of the Edomites, the final major nuclear fire, the second death, the lake of fire, which is America, from those missiles, is going to take place. So the Edomites will be on the scene when the Lord Yahushua returns. Isaiah 63, 1 and 2 is another quick way to prove that. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. Now let's look up a picture of a missile, which is that sword that we read about. Has many names in the scriptures. Like a bow is the silo which is held in. The missile itself is the arrow. They call them serpents with heads because they have warheads and they look like a serpent. Joel 2 tells you about it. It has a flame behind it, which is you see the fire that when it's shot off. And when it hits the flame before it, it has a whole nother destruction of fire, which has the destruction. Second Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. The bow is the silos, which the missile is held in, which we just saw. His arrows, that's the missile, I referenced it, that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Why? Because they're intercontinental ballistic missiles. They can go from continent to continent. So nuclear war is in the scriptures. And it's coming to the Edomites, proving that Isaiah 34 will take place in the future. Even at the time of the Lord Yahushua, the second coming of the Messiah, which clearly has not happened yet. We read he's going to come with the clouds of heaven with the power and great glory. Coming with the UFOs, the chariots, and the holy angels to beam up the elect. The great deliverance. No, keep going. It's pretty much getting to the last part of the third part of the lesson, if you will. If you had to cut it up into thirds, verse 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. And so, this links up. Let me read this first for some context. Read a couple. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 2. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, America's the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. One of the main corruptions is through democracy, corrupted the earth, America, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. Revelation 17 and 6 says America is the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. The saints are the children of Israel. This goes with right this scripture. Verse 3 is the point. And again they said, Hallelujah, which proves that the Most High's name is, or that Jesus has no part in the equation. Because Yah is a shortened term of the Most High's name. His full name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahushai. So these wacky-tacky Christians don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're singing about. And their smoke rose up forever and ever. That's the point. Because America, the smoke is going to burn for a long time. All this stuff that's here is going to burn. There's going to be a whole lot of smoke. Which we take it back to Revelation 6. In verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. The earthquake from the missiles, we read the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. The sun became black as sackcloth of hair because the smoke, all that smoke from the missiles, is going to cause nuclear winter. It's just going to be a whole lot of burning, create that smoke. The missiles hit, and it's going to block out the light. So clearly, nuclear war, which is going to connect with Isaiah 34, and another, again, beyond the missile and destruction, we're going to link it up. So Revelation 19 and 3 again, and again they said, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, and their smoke rose up forever and ever, for a long time. Revelation 14 in verse 8, I'll start at, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, America is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, Revelation 13:16, that microchip. So World War III, Babylon the Great, this whore, the Edomites, Idumea being on the scene, who are the people that run this place, Babylon the Great. It's all at the same time. So Isaiah 34 would happen because the destruction is going to happen at the time of the mark of the beast. The Idumeans, the Edomites, are going to be on the scene to be destroyed when the mark of the beast is in place at the time of that slaughter, Armageddon, World War III. And we know the after effects of this destruction. Mark of the beast will be at the tribulation of those days right before when Yahushua returns to deliver the elect from that and from the destruction. And those who take the ship will be in destruction if they're in America. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashmi, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone from those missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So Yahweh and the holy angels are going to be up. They coming in these chariots, the so-called UFOs, above the destruction of Babylon the Great. And even shooting laser beams from the chariots on those who take the ship. And so that proves that the fire and brimstone is on the earth from that nuclear destruction, because Yahweh and the angels, the holy angels, are going to be there. The holy Yahweh and the holy angels. And then Yahweh's kingdom, with the elect of Israel's kingdom, will be established on the earth. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And so America, that smoke is going to burn for a long time. So now we can connect. We just read, and so I'll read Revelation 19 one more time. Revelation 19:3, and again they said Hallelujah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. So the mark of the beast would be on the scene right before that. The RFID microchip being made mandatory to buy or sell this digital system. Back to Isaiah 34. What does it say? In verse 10, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. So it links up with what we just read, the smoke forever, America's smoke for a long time. And we just read that it's going to happen at the destruction of the Edomites who ruled this place, Babylon the Great, Idumea, which is a future, is going to happen in the future at the same time as World War III, right when Yahweh returns, as we've been reading, proving Isaiah 34 is a future. It had nothing to do with the past. Verse 11, and it's going to be a desert that no man will ever live in forever, but only certain wild animals, desert animals, which I'm almost ready to close out. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and the cormorant and bittern are wild desert birds, and he shall stretch out upon the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. So there's going to be no more signs saying welcome to this state, this is that state. It's going to be a vast desert. Verse 12, they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all their princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court of owls. The wild beast of the desert shall also meet with the wild beast of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the grey owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with their mate. And so, the last scripture I have to link up with that, Isaiah 34, is Revelation 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great, America's Babylon the Great, is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Which is exactly what we read about in Isaiah 34, about these different creatures dwelling in America, Babylon the Great, when it becomes a desert after the destruction. So, again, we see a link up in the New Testament, particularly the book of Revelations, of things that will happen in the future based on the scriptures, linked with Isaiah 34 at the destruction of the Edomites, the Idumeans, proving the Edomites are still here today, and Isaiah 34 is a future. These biblical scholars try to say it's in the past, but we can prove them wrong through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Oshai Bashmi Kokodash. From the doctrine that Yahweh Bashmi Oshai in the Rakakodash, the Holy Spirit, is upon our elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down who will well. Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau, even the so-called white man, is ruling now. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's the kingdom of heaven, where the Israelites and Yahweh Shai reign. So Esau will be ruling right before that, at the time of destruction. Jacob's trouble, the mark of the beast. World War III, Armageddon. And then the Israelites would reign next and put all the other nations in slavery. And it would be a rest for the Israelites, the people of Yahweh Bashmi Oshai. And it will be a righteous kingdom. I'll leave it off with this. Or as well, I can do this similar thing for Isaiah 13. This is Isaiah 13 and 19. I'll start at verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. The Medes is Russia, to them is America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows, the missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh Bashmi Oshai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire. So we're saying Babylon, America, has the same fate. And Russia's going to shoot missiles on it. Certain European nations will shoot missiles on it. And these other nations, countries will shoot missiles on it. And it will burn for a long time. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So no man, not even Israelites, are not gonna dwell in America. It's gonna be a desert where these certain animals will dwell in. That's just how it's gonna be. And I said that'll be the last one, but 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example to those that after shall live ungodly. So Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by that fire. Babylon, America. The Edomites goes with the Idumeans. The place of this destruction by the missiles is Babylon has the same fate, to be destroyed by fire. And so I hope that was edifying. With that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone over well. Shalom to elect.